All right, what's going on, big dogs? So, if you ever think that you're down bad in life, if you ever think that you're not doing super well, just remember that you could always be this absolute cringe individual who is doing one of the most embarrassing things I have ever seen a grown man do. So, a Chicago man is suing dozens of women for $75,000 after they wrote negative reviews on him in a Facebook page describing him as clingy. Nick D'Ambroso, 32, keep that in mind, said that his name and photo were shared on the private "Are We Dating the Same Guy" Facebook page. He is suing 27 women, saying he has been the subject of defamation, doxing, and invasion of privacy. So, first and foremost, this is the guy we're dealing with here. Okay? Already a bunch of red flags. He looks like some dude who definitely thinks of himself a lot higher than what he probably should. I mean, he's 32 years old and being described as clingy. So obviously some people never grow out of being clingy. I understand it if you're young, you know, maybe you're just kind of getting into relationships. You can get a little clingy, right? But you're supposed to kind of grow up and not be a creep and let your partner kind of, you know, do what they want for the most part. Obviously you have to talk about things, but that's for a different video. Now, the social media page that he was in is just a Facebook private group chat. It is apparently very heavily moderated. So basically they don't just let anybody in. They don't just let anybody go in there and say things. From what I've been able to gather, the site really doesn't defame anybody. It's always just like, hey, this guy and I matched on this app, or this guy and I went on a date. I don't know about it. What do you girls think? Have any of you been on a date with this individual? Blah, blah, blah. And then people give their opinions. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just like, he's weird. But like the worst thing they've ever said on there is like, this guy's clingy, or this guy is kind of strange. Now, this is a private Facebook group, which means only the people in the group can actually see what is going on. So none of this information actually would have ever been released to the public had this guy not decided to sue the women who were calling him clingy. Now, if you're upset about somebody calling you clingy, if you're upset about a bunch of, not just one or two women, apparently 27 women at least are calling him the same thing, then you might be the problem. You might have to look inward and think, man, maybe I'm the issue. But here are a few of the posts just to kind of go over what they're saying about this individual. So an anonymous member says, "We originally met in Chicago 2.5 months ago. He was very clingy, very fast, flaunted money very awkwardly, and kept talking about how I don't want to see his bad side." Ooh, you don't want to see his bad side, he says. Ew. I feel like he's trying to be like a you know, kind of edgy dude. Like, yeah, I'm tough, I can defend you, but he's not. I can tell by looking at him. He's just, no. Especially when he was on business calls. He came to see me yesterday and I explained how I didn't really want to stay the night. I just wanted to spend the day together. And this was his response. After I blocked his number, he texted me on a different number, which is the other text in the screenshot, apparently. So his response was, after she told him that she didn't want to hang out, she blocked his number because he was being clingy. And then he used a friend's phone or had a secondary phone and still kept messaging the girl, which is extra creepy and extra weird. Again, none of this would be public if he had not sued them. And then a few other girls actually commented on the post. These girls here. First one says, "I matched with him a month or so ago, but the combo never went anywhere. I went out with him a few times just over a year ago. He told me what I wanted to hear until I slept with him. Then he ghosted. I'd stay clear." And another one with a bunch of red flags. He's been posted here before. The poster said he sent her a few texts calling her names because he didn't want to spend the night with him. Because she didn't want to spend the night with him. I searched and this was on November 2nd. So take a look. So again, it's not the first time he's been posted here. And he's suing over like defamation and people like apparently ruining his image. But again, it's private. Nobody's seeing this but these women. It might hurt his dating scene a little bit, but that's not their fault. Okay. And that's not defamation. Okay, if I want to sit on the internet and call you an idiot and call you a moron and call you cringy and call you weird and say that you're not like great at talking to women or that the way you try to date women is kind of weird, that's not defamation. Okay, defamation would be me openly trying to spread false information about somebody that can actually have negative effects on their overall well-being and their overall life. Me saying that you're a weirdo doesn't make it defamation. That's just my opinion, and there's nothing that me saying this person's a weirdo is really ever going to do to affect your life. That's just not how that works. And especially in a private chat where none of these texts are being leaked, none of these texts have ever been brought up anywhere else until he decided to sue these women, and now it's a big deal. He just brought a bunch of negative attention to himself for no reason. And this is also super stupid because now even more people in the world know that this guy's a lunatic. Who sues over women saying you're clingy? Again, if you want to say that you're not clingy, if you want to say that, no, I'm not all these things they say, then prove it, dude. Then prove it. You have to go out of your way to be a clingy, like, narcissistic individual to sit there and brag about money and to talk about how you don't want to see my bad side, baby girl. You know who it is. Come on, dude. All right, that's cringy stuff. You should know that as a 32-year-old man, you should know that that stuff is really cringe. Like, this guy looks like he just binges Andrew Tate all day, every day. And I guarantee you, he, like, every girl that he's went on a date with, he's showing them. He shows, yeah, this is what Tate told me. This is what Tate told me how to pick up chicks, so it has to work. And if it doesn't, then instead of being like, oh, maybe this actually doesn't work, he's like, no, these girls just, they don't understand the hustle and the grind. Like, he just seems like one of those guys. He looks like a dude that would fall for a pyramid scheme, like that kind of dude. I don't know how else to describe him. And I mean, you can talk about money with girls, I guess, but he was just outright bragging about it according to the girls, so, like, that's a little weird. If she brought up the topic, even then it's weird. Like, if she asked how much money I made, like, if I was on a date and a girl asked how much money I made, I'm not comfortable about talking about that right away. Like, I'll explain that I'm definitely financially stable and I'm doing okay in life, but I'm not going to sit there and give you my bank account information or, like, tell you or show you exactly how much money I have in my account. Like, that's kind of dumb. I'm not going to sit there and brag about that. I don't have anything to really brag about, but I'm doing better than, probably the average. I'm not doing great by any means. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy a mansion and shit like that. But even if I was a billionaire, just living up in the hills away from everyone in my private 10-acre lot in my 40-bathroom house, I'm not going to tell you about that stuff. Like, what the hell? You don't brag about that stuff. You just don't. It's cringy. It's weird. It comes off as very, like, you have to date me. Look at me with all my money. And then to top it off, this guy apparently he seems like a guy who's probably just trying to get the little whistle wet down there. He doesn't seem like a guy who's actually trying to date these chicks, which is why he gets so upset when they either block him or ghost him. But he's totally okay with ghosting them after, he gets them to sleep with them. And that's really probably all he's doing. It's a super dumb situation. And I highly doubt anything's going to come out of this. I'm pretty sure it's going to get laughed out of the court. Like, there's no reason that this should ever become a defamation case. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think down below. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like. If you disliked, remember to leave a dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. It all absolutely means a ton. And until the next video, guys, Godspeed.